There is only one reason why I'm out here dredging through the snow, which is, what is that, like a foot deep? It's because it's time for another comparison. The DJI Mini 3 just came out not too long ago, but one of the biggest questions with it is it worth getting that or getting the DJI Mini 3 Pro, which definitely has more features, but also comes with a bigger price tag. So we're out here, let's get to flying and see how these drones compare. So now that we're back in the studio, hopefully you could see a difference in those different shots as I switched between the two different drones, or maybe you couldn't. There really is so much similar with this that it really comes down to two key differences, and that is one, the camera system and its smarts or its intelligence that's built in. Real quick, I'm just going to talk about what's the same between both of these. Like I said, it's a lot. So first, the gimbal is the same. So it can look up 60 degrees, it can go down 90 degrees. And my favorite feature, which is on both of these, is that it can shoot vertically, true vertical. So it'll switch into that orientation. They both use the same props. They have the same batteries. They have cinematic mode. They have sport mode. They both can shoot photos in JPEG and RAW, and they can both shoot 4K 30, although there is a difference there. So I'll talk about that in a second. And they both have manual settings for both of those options if you want to customize the video or the photos exactly the way you want. And pretty importantly, the flight characteristics, at least in my experience flying both, feels pretty much exactly the same on both of them. And that is in all scenarios, including wind. It has level 5 ratings on both of these, and I've never had an issue where I live, and it gets pretty windy here, but both of them have held up pretty well. And lastly, and maybe most importantly for the Mini line of drones, is the weight, and they both come in at that 249 grams, so you don't have to worry about registering or anything like that. You just buy the drone and start flying. So right there, that is a big list of things that are similar with this drone, and there's even more smaller ones that I didn't hit on. And I think what that list of similarities gives you is, I think, confidence in buying either one of these. Like, no matter which one you buy, you're still getting a really good flying drone that has a pretty suitable camera on it. So when you're looking for the drone experience, both of these are going to give it to you. But it's just when you get into the details that maybe one of these will, kind of outshine the other. Before I go into the differences, I think it's important to quantify like why it even matters, and really comes down to price. There is a $200 difference across the board between the Mini 3 and the Mini 3 Pro. So is it worth paying that? Well, let's find out. I think the Mini line of drones is great because it's that entry level that many people can get into easily. They don't have to spend thousands of dollars on something that honestly you're probably going to crash at some point. But at the same time, that's where I'm a little conflicted, because that kind of ethos of what the Mini line was, great for beginners. Well, the Mini 3 Pro does it a little better in certain ways when it comes to its smarts. Like I said, a lot of times this line of drones is going to be someone's first drone, and that means you don't necessarily know how to fly all that well, but the Mini 3 Pro has all these sensors built in to help you not crash. And while I personally think that it is good to learn how to not crash on your own and, have full control of the aircraft on your own, that's important, obviously. For those that are just learning, it's nice to not just slam it into a wall on accident, because it happens. I've actually done that myself before, just by accidentally hitting the stick in the wrong direction. It's embarrassing, but it's just something that happens when you're learning how to fly. And having those sensors built in potentially could save you hundreds of dollars if you do crash, if you didn't have those. So the Mini 3 Pro has sensors up front that look in front of it. It also has some that point backwards so it can see what's behind it, and it has more sensors that point down so it can see everything beneath it. The only thing it doesn't have is side protection, so if you are flying side to side, it's not going to know what's going on there, so it could be an issue there. But compared to the Mini 3, well, you don't have any of those. The only sensors you have are on the bottom, which are just for detecting the ground, so that when you land, it doesn't just slam into the ground. But that's kind of it. If you buy the Mini 3, you're on your own when it comes to what the drone is seeing in the air. And for a beginner, someone who's never really flown before, I think you maybe have to ask yourself, would you rather pay $200 more for the sensors that may avoid a crash, or potentially spend that money anyway if you do crash the drone, which, like I said, it's going to happen eventually. I don't know. I go back and forth on whether saving money in this category is worth it or not, but at least you know which one has the sensors and which one doesn't. A lot of the times when I'm out flying, I'm flying by myself, and that means getting the exact camera shot that I want is pretty difficult, especially if I'm kind of multitasking. Maybe I'm walking along or driving or something like that. It can get kind of hard, and that's where one of the bigger differences for me at least is coming in, and that's with active track, because the Mini 3 doesn't have it, the Mini 3 Pro does. And basically what this does is, on screen you have your subject, whatever you're filming, you can select it, and then the drone will basically fly itself. You have a few different ways to do this. You can have it do everything manually, or you can have it just point at a subject and you still fly the drone. But these smart features let someone like me, who is always flying by themselves, still control the drone or have the drone do something without me needing to be in full absolute control of it. It's just an intelligent feature that you get with the Mini 3 Pro. The Mini 3, on the other hand, doesn't have it. Now, what it does have that the Mini 3 Pro also has is called Quick Shot. And these are pre-programmed moves that you can do, so they are still kind of tracking your subject and everything, but they're just, you don't have the flexibility that you do with something like active track. But I don't know that active track is something that you exactly need or that you need to pay more for. It's a great feature to have, but you can still fly the drone and get all the exact same moves. You just have to do it manually. I think the reason to own a drone is different for a lot of people. There's a lot of reasons why you would want to get into this. But for me, and I think for a lot of people, having a great camera that you can fly around and get just very unique shots is very appealing. And that is why I continue to own drones and why I use them. That's really what they're for me. They are flying cameras. And there's a few key differences here that I think make the camera experience of the Pro absolutely worth the extra money if that is what you're focused on. And I think the first one for me, and probably the biggest, is Decinelike, which is a flat color profile. Now, when you go into this mode, it makes everything look kind of gray and not great, honestly. But this means that in post-production, when I go into the computer, I can color it and make it look like this. It gives you a ton more flexibility, and even better, it also is now in 10-bit color. And basically, this just means that there's a lot more information in the files, so that when I do go edit all the colors, it doesn't, destroy the image. It still looks good. The Mini 3 doesn't have that. It's just a standard picture profile. Now, don't get me wrong, it still looks great in a lot of situations, but it's just no comparing what the Mini 3 Pro can do compared to the Mini 3 when it comes to just the dynamic range and the overall image quality. Now, I'll say for the camera, the Mini 3 Pro is something that I feel confident in. In fact, I use this on a shoot. If you didn't know, I work for JFL Network also, and we did a video on the Hummer EV that was just announced not too long ago. And I shot some of the drone shots with the Mini 3 Pro, and it looks great. You wouldn't know that it was, the mini version of the drone. And I was confident enough in the image that I wasn't worried about whether it would work or not. I knew that I just needed to get the shot in the camera and that the image itself would look good. Now, aside from that, you also get more frame rate options on the Mini 3 Pro, so you can go up to 4K 60, where you can only go 30 on the Mini 3. Plus, you could do 1080p at up to 120 frames per second on the Mini 3 Pro, where you can't on the Mini 3. Now, for me, frame rates aren't really something that I ever change all that often, but hey, if it's something that you're looking for, the Mini 3 Pro definitely has the edge. Now, on the photo side, there is also a 48 megapixel mode, which should give you some higher resolution. I've shot both, and I think they both look good, whether you're using that 48 megapixel mode or not. And honestly, the photo quality on both I think is pretty good. But really, when it comes down to image quality, we can just let the footage speak for itself, and you can choose which one you think looks best. So for the $200 difference, is it worth getting the Mini 3 or the Mini 3 Pro? And I really think it just depends on what you're going to be using it for. If you're looking for your entry-level drone that still does most of the things, but obviously, isn't doing every single thing, the Mini 3 is still the way to go. That's what the Mini 2 was great at. That's what the Mini 1 was great at. If you want your entry level, stick with the Mini 3, save your money. But if you're looking for the most portable drone that still gives you a lot of the quality that you would get with some of the bigger things like the Mavic 3, well, the Mini 3 Pro gives you that. So if you want the best flying camera in the smallest form factor possible, the Mini 3 Pro is well worth the extra money. But like I said many times, whichever one of these you choose, you're still getting a great drone that flies extremely well, has a capable camera, and just gets you out there flying, which honestly is probably the most important part.